Hey guys, so let's take a look at some of the benchmarks of Samsung Intercept. Somebody had requested me to test a multi-touch test on here, so I'm gonna do that first. Let's see. So let's show you the multi-touch test on here. You can see multi-touch is a little bit wonky. Not the greatest, but it works. It does its job in the browser, as I showed you in the last video. See, it tracks one finger fine. When I put the second finger, things go bad. So it didn't pass the multi-touch test. Let's take a look at some of the other benchmarks. So let's bring a Droid Ares into the equation and run the benchmarks on both the phones at the same time. So this Droid Ares runs at 528 MHz and the Samsung Intercept runs at 800 MHz. So I'm going to run the CPU benchmark and see which one of them runs it faster. The Droid Ares is running a custom ROM XTR Sans 3.1, and it also has just-in-time compiler module turned on for it. Looks like the Samsung Intercept finished first at a time of 3159 milliseconds, and the Droid Ares ends up second, has a time of 5692 milliseconds, just to be expected considering the higher clock speed on the Samsung Intercept. So let's run the LinPack test on both of them and see how many megaflops they can put out. And Ares wins this one because it has just-in-time compiler turned on in this ROM. It gets 3.267 megaflops, and the Samsung Intercept has about 2.2 megaflops. So I was going to run the Qualcomm Neo-Core benchmark on Samsung Intercept, but this phone is having some problems with it. Looks like it might not be supported, or the GPU might not work. So let me show you what happens. So you start Neo-Core, and as you press run, you get all these weird graphics. You get the sound working, but the graphics are very weird. Looks like the GPU might not be supported on this. So let's go ahead and run the Quadrant benchmark. This is that benchmark that's really gained some popularity lately with the release of the Droid X results. See, that was a problem here. This device uses a software OpenGL renderer. The application may not work correctly. Looks like the GPU is missing from this phone, so the GPU calculations are being done on the CPU. So that's the reason why the previous benchmark didn't run. So you might have some problem playing games on this Intercept. Well, let's go ahead and run and see what happens. So the Samsung Intercept throws an error, probably due to the GPU missing. We'll try to run the video test, GPU test through this error, so it won't be able to run this benchmark while the Droid Ares is working fine. So let's move on and take a look at another benchmark. So big fail for Samsung Intercept over there. So this is the Droid Info application, and it has a benchmark. If you press the menu button, you can click touchstone benchmark, and let's go ahead and do that. So the Trotters wins out on doing nothing, has a high lead on swap local, invoke method, wins in the math too, probably due to the just-in-time compiler on this RAM custom ROM. Main memory, Trotters wins again. Internal flash, Trotters wins again. In graphics, Samsung Intercept gets a win in canvas drawing, and it's the same as screen refresh. So this is the J benchmark, which can test the read and write speeds of the internal NAND or your SD card. So we're testing the internal NAND on both these devices. Let's take a look at what the results are. It's just going to take some time and run through the battery of tests and then spit out a score, read and write in megabytes per second. Alright, so both of these phones are done. Let's zoom in and show you the results. So the Droid Ares scores 0.12 megabytes per second on write test, while the Samsung Intercept got 0.15, and read performance, the Droid Ares wins by scoring 0.46 MB per second versus Samsung Intercept 0.19. So a win in the write performance for the Samsung Intercept. So that was a quick look at the benchmarks. Take a look at a written review on our website. The link is in the description. And as always, if you liked the video, please rate and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.